Welcome again. My name is Facebook Jason, my son Darrian. We are now going to go over our thoughts and good, bad, and different, everything on the Carnival Paradise that we did in January. Now, what we're going to tell you is for our cruise only and our thoughts only.
We cannot speak for the other passengers on this cruise.
Correct. We will speak to what our interpretations, our thoughts. We'll go over maybe not everything, but we'll give a pretty good review over
all the stuff we did, at least.
Correct. Let's start off with Embarkation. We live close. We're only about 45 minutes away from Tampa. The Carnival Paradise does go out to the port of Tampa. We're only about 45 minutes away. We arrived to the parking garage about 11 in the morning or so. By 11:45, we were on the ship on the Lido deck.
Yeah.
So real quick, real easy. Took the longest time to actually just go through the little lines of the queue up in front. Like I said, we were in our rooms by 1:30.
Yeah.
I want to say.
Yeah, 1:15, 1:30, our room was ready.
Right.
But the luggage didn't get there till, for us, 2:30 to 3.
Basically for us, we had everything in our room, had all of our luggage and kind of putting things away by 2:30-ish.
Yeah.
Muster station,
so much nicer than it was
years ago. Muster station literally took 3 to 5 minutes. So now let's talk about the sea days. We had 2 sea days on the ship. We had one the first day, and then the last day were both sea days.
So my thoughts for the sea days, and this is for any other cruises, there's always, if there's ever 2, there's always one that has everything you want to do. And there's always one that has nothing you want to do. So, and for me, that was the first sea day, really didn't have much of anything I wanted to do.
Paradise it's a small ship. So it's one of their fantasy class ships. There's no big screen on the Lido deck. They don't do the movies under the stars. And then sometimes on the sea days, there wasn't a whole lot to do. For some people, that is perfectly fine. They don't want to do anything. They just want to sit, hang around at the Lido deck, hang around at the pool, have their kids go up and down the water slides 18 times. Perfectly fine. For those that are looking for something to do, looking to be entertained, there wasn't a whole lot. The second sea day seemed to be full with a lot of trivia and a lot more things to do. The first day was just kind of like, hey, we're here.
Explore the ship.
Walk around the ship,
Hopefully
figure out what you want to do.
Something you like.
And hang out at the pool. Along those same lines, on the Lido deck, plenty of chair space available.
Yeah, there was plenty of deck space. There was no fighting for it. Whereas on bigger ships, you have to get up at first breakfast to get a spot.
There was no need to save chairs or anything like that. The Waterworks area that we went down the main slide one time, and I think for me it was only one time because it was windy.
Yeah,
it wasn't cold. It was comfortable. The temperature outside was fine.
Yeah.
But it was really, really windy up there, and I'm afraid of heights. And the Waterworks as a whole, I think, was great for kids in that 6 to 12-year-old range, 6 to 10-year-old range. Perfect for them. They had a big water slide, 2 smaller water slides that were like the little zip ones.
Yeah.
Plenty of things to do. We sat up there and watched for a couple hours, and all the families were having fun. The kids were having a great time. Our first port was Grand Cayman. Grand Cayman is a tender port.
You heard our experience with the tender port,
right?
Watch back
the other videos. We had a experience with Grand Cayman on the tender ports. I like Grand Cayman as a whole. In talking with other people throughout the cruise, if you're in the Grand Cayman, you don't have anything you do. You don't want to go to 7 Mile Beach. Take the city bus. He told me it was about $250 a person.
Yeah.
For the city bus tour, you can ride around. You can go to hell, which is not a whole lot from what everybody tells me.
Yeah, it's got rock formation
in a little post office, in a gift shop.
Yep.
Grand Cayman's a nice place to go walk around. There's plenty of things to do. If you are doing a carnival excursion, they'll tell you exactly where you need to go. You'll make sure that you get on that. If you're doing a non-carnival excursion,
which is what we were doing.
Which is what we did. We booked ours through Viator. Make sure you go to guest services ahead of time, like the day before on the sea day, and tell them, hey, I've got a non-carnival tour. It meets at 9 o'clock, and they'll give you a pass to get off on that first tender. As you saw in the video before, I missed it. We missed the first tender and ended up missing our
excursion,
missing our whole excursion. It's a safe place. It's a good place to go walk around. You can plenty of things to do if you just want. If you just want to walk around and shop for a little bit, you can do that.
That's what we
you
did.
Come out of the port, you can go to the right. There's shopping down there. There's a Hard Rock Cafe, things like that. Go to the left. There's a couple little beaches. You saw that, the one I usually fall on. Just make sure that obviously that you're back on the ship by final time. Of course, for us, they said. The last tender is 2:15. The 2:15.
2:45, there's still a tender coming back.
Right.
To which I even told you this. My guess is we had to be out by 3. But they tell you 2:15 is the last tender. So everybody's there at 2:15.
Yeah.
And then they just start shuttling people back.
Cozumel is our second port. For me, Cozumel is probably becoming the one port that is my favorite. It seems to be one that we go to on every cruise ship, but it's a good port. There's plenty of things to do. In the little area where Carnival drops you off, it's a little gated area, all kinds of shopping in there, all kinds of goods. You want leather goods, you want luchador masks, you want pharmacies, vanilla, things like that. All kinds of are right there. You can go out of the area. You hang a left, and there's a Margaritaville, and there's a little shopping complex within the Margaritaville area. Yeah. Nonetheless, where we went and saw the Mayan flyers, the tequila tasting, all that stuff, that's easy walking distance from there. Always going to be some sketchy taco truck. Totally up to you.
Remember, next time, if you can get there early enough, you got to find the orange truck.
You're right, got to find the orange truck. The time that we were there, you saw there were 4 different ships in port, and we were the smallest one at only like 2,000. The Royal, another Carnival, Princess, that were 3,000 and 4,000 passengers. So it was...
Yeah, so it was pretty crowded. But
it was pretty crowded, and I'm sure that the Mr. Sancho's, Paradise Beach, things like that, they were crowded as well because that's where everybody seems to go.
Like to go, which there's nothing wrong with it.
Professional tip, pro tip, things like that. Take small bills. Take 1s, 5s, 10s. I wouldn't take anything over a 20. They're all going to take American bills. Mm-hmm. So that's not a problem.
This can go for both ports, Cayman and Cozumel, by the way.
A lot of times you can haggle on pricing, and if they say, oh, well, it's $15, and the only thing you have is a 20, they might say, oh, well, I don't have change, or something like that. Hoping that you just say, oh, no worries, just keep that $5, whatever. Yeah. It's also a little bit better to not keep all your money in one spot. Don't keep all your money in your wallet. You open up your wallet and all of a sudden you got 100s and 50s and 20s and da-da-da. They're...
Magically the prices skyrocket.
Exactly. Or they've got other things to sell you.
Naturally.
And if you're going to buy something that is a larger ticket, know the exchange rate. They're going to run everything off of a standard exchange rate, which may in the end benefit them as a company. But if you're going outside, especially outside the little gated community or gated area, be careful and watch what your exchange rate is, because they will try and overcharge you based on that. So let's move on to food. Which is what everybody loves on cruise ships.
Onboard buffet.
We had no issues with the buffet.
Nope.
Hit it for breakfast a couple times. Hit it for lunch a couple times. Never really did dinner.
No.
But the good thing on Carnival ships, what they have on the buffet and what they have in the main dining room and dinner are the same thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much. There's going to be some variety, but it's going to be pretty much the same thing. We never had an issue with lines in the buffet.
Nor at the Blue Iguana or Guys, really. Right. They were always constantly moving.
Right. Embarkation day, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, there was 2 people in line at Guys Burgers. Multiple times we would get burritos or tacos at Blue Iguana. Easy. Maybe 3 or 4 people in line. Even on breakfast on sea days, breakfast on port days, there was really nobody there. Portion size in the main dining room, a lot of them are smaller than they used to be. And I say used to be like pre-COVID years ago.
Yeah.
Even though people are ordering 2 entrees, they're still not wasting a lot of the food.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. And that's the reason for limiting to 2 entrees, paying for that 3rd entree, is because people were getting it and just wasting it. So if you want 2 or 3 of 4, 5, 6 things, order appetizers and desserts. There's
No
no
limit.
limit. There's no upcharge or anything like that on there. The main dining room for Elegant Night. We're on a 5-day cruise, so we only had one Elegant Night, and we had the anytime dining. So we had to check in and say, hey, we're ready for a table, and
Two of us ready for a table whenever you are ready for us.
Right, and it would tell us when one was available. It was 70 to 80 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it was probably 6:30 time frame when we said we're ready when we checked in, and it was every bit of 70 to 80 minutes. And if you go on multiple Carnival ships, you realize that the menus are 98% the same. We did notice that service in the main dining room did get better as the week progressed. So we had heard a rumor that a lot of the staff had changed over. Their contract had just started on our cruise. They have no idea how anybody would know that, how to confirm it or anything like that. So that might explain a little bit. And people were just getting into, take a day or two to get into the groove of things. In the main dining room, other than that one night, them forgetting your second entree.
That was the worst thing. Another thing you could say bad is they didn't always offer refills for your
my water
or
teas something like that. Yeah, they're really good at giving you one drink and then not refilling your drink after that.
Yeah.
Your pizza and your deli, very typical Carnival foods. Never had an issue with that. I never saw a long line at pizza either.
No, the deli always had a long line.
The deli had a longer line than the pizza did.
Yeah.
Even then, the long line was 6-7 people.
Yeah. And really, you weren't waiting on the people to decide. You were waiting on the 2 people at the deli at 10:30 at night.
Right.
To get the thing going, going.
Neither one of us had the alcohol package, so we can't really speak for the bars. We can speak for observing at the bars, and there was never a wait for anything. The people that had the drink package, they were extremely friendly with the bartenders. The bartenders knew who they were. They knew what they liked. No issues whatsoever from anybody about the bar service. Darrian had the soda package.
You kind of get the soda package. They're like, hey, what you want? Insert soda here. Okay, here.
Other than that, any thoughts about food?
Know your dietary restrictions and such, because sometimes people don't always think about stuff like that.
Yeah, they won't ask you.
Yeah, they won't ask. So, we might have to look into the app. Is there a way you can put in restrictions such as?
Well, what you do is you actually would go in the main dining room, or you would talk to the maitre d', or when you go to the buffet, there's always somebody at a podium at the front of the buffet that is going to give you the options. You can go up to them and say, hey, I do have a dietary restriction. I can't do dairy. I can't do gluten. And on the menus that they have in the buffet, it'll tell you, this is beef stroganoff, and it'll have a little symbol of a leaf if it's vegetarian.
Beef stroganoff, vegetarian.
You know what I mean. I'm just giving examples.
I'm just pointing that out there.
Yeah, I know. And I said beef stroganoff, and that's a sore subject in my family. Story for another time.
Yes.
Always have a person, as long as the buffet is open, there's going to be somebody at the podium, and they'll put it into the system. So when you do go, if you do have an allergy, you can pre-order all your food for the main dining room, for C-Day brunch, things like that. But speaking of C-Day brunch, get the macaroni and cheese off of the kids menu.
Oh yeah, you can get anything off the kids menu if you really want to.
Yeah.
They might look at you funny, but then you realize, yeah, who cares?
Yep, I get the mac and cheese all the time from on the brunch from the kids menu.
It's bad when the families next to us go like, you can do that? Hey, give me that mac.
And I also ordered the banana split off of the kids menu in the main dining room.
I did it too, one day.
Definitely A+. Food on the Paradise, it's typical cruise food. We never had any issues. Never heard of anybody really complaining, other than sometimes the service was really slow. Other people talk about their food wasn't as hot as they prefer it and they like it. Understandable. That's going to happen sometimes. In a situation like that, always bring it to their attention. They can't fix it if they don't know. Now, let's move on to entertainment. Let's start with the Sailaway party.
Sailaway parties are always fun.
Right.
I don't necessarily participate in them. I find more enjoyment watching them. Usually they're on deck 10. I'll go up to 11 or 12. This way they can't call me out for not having fun.
Right.
And I'll watch it from above.
I personally don't remember them doing the typical carnival deck party dances. I don't remember the wobble.
Yeah.
I remember the electric slide.
Yeah.
I don't remember, let's see, the wobble, fireball.
They did do the cha-cha slide at the Sailaway party. I do not think they did the Cupid Shuffle at all.
For me, it wasn't your typical Sailaway party, but that's okay. It was the best. It was the best deck party that they had. Most people were involved in that versus everything else. Then we move on to the 80s Rock and Glow party.
Which...
That was different.
Yes, in previous experiences that we've done it, we have seen the cruise director, whoever it may be, they will get involved. They will teach dances such as the Footloose dance, or they'll do this whole show to build up to a song.
Right.
This one, kind of as we mentioned in that video, felt more like it was an 80s themed party.
All you Gen Xers, the 80s party that you had at school.
Yeah,
when it was just the DJs playing 80s songs. There wasn't a whole lot of staff involvement. Now, granted, there were only 4 Fun Squad members total.
Yeah, 4 to 5, I'd say.
Yeah, so because it is a smaller ship, they don't have the staff of everybody else. There's only 4 Fun Squad plus the cruise director. I have no problem with Uncle Johnny. Uncle Johnny was funny.
He was great.
He had some great points of great things he would say throughout the cruise, but he wasn't as active and involved as some of the other cruise directors we had. Yes. Not to knock him personally, but that's just him. Yeah. And that's the thing is everyone's
got their own thing.
No issues with Uncle Johnny. His 80s Rock and Glow party is going to be different from Jackie Tang, who's going to be different from the Flying Scotsman, who's going to be different from Lee, the cruise director. Everybody's going to have a different one.
Yeah.
That's no problem. They're all going to put their own touch on everything. Now, when it's looking at the other musical artists that they have on there, the violin trio, or it was a duo this one.
But it's been a trio on previous cruises.
Trio, things like that. The violin duo was phenomenal. They were great. No issues with them. They had great chemistry with the staff, with the crowds. Wonderful. The steel drum guy.
Steel drum guy's just about on every Carnival cruise. Not that specific guy, of course, but there's always a guy doing the steel drums, and who
doesn't love a steel drum in the Caribbean? Now the guitarist, they always they have a solo guitarist on every cruise pretty much. He tried to do a couple songs that he probably shouldn't do.
Yes. And that's not saying he has no talent. No.
Some songs he did great.
Some songs he did great. Like I want to say his version of The Dance by Garth Brooks was okay.
Right.
It wasn't necessarily the greatest, but it's kind of hard to beat Garth Brooks.
Right. But then when he did Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah chorus, I'm surprised some of the windows in the atrium didn't break because it was bad. They had a Latin band that would play. A lot of times they play in the little promenade area right outside the casinos, walking by, and it was usually later at night. The girl couldn't sing. I don't know what it was. She had no I guess she had rhythm, but the voice just wasn't there, in my opinion. Now, the piano bar, we only stopped in there one night, and we were just kind of killing some time before a show.
One of the shows.
He was phenomenal. Funny, kept everybody engaged, and it was packed.
Oh, yeah.
The show was...
Standing room only.
I mean, we couldn't find a seat if we wanted to, and there were people that in there singing along with everything. He was great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that was always... He was great, phenomenal. I wish we would have gone probably more often than we did. We just stopped in for like about 15 minutes, and we're like, hey... But sometimes on a cruise, there's always so many things to do
that you can't
get everything. Of the Fun Squad, we had Jonathan, he did some of the trivias, some of the game shows. He was great. Phenomenal. Funny, remembered everything, extremely quick-witted. If you were trying to get him on something, he
got you right back. I mean,
he was coming back real quick with everything. And we went to 2 of the shows in the theater. I think they only had 2 shows. We did the Pop to the Max,
Epic Rock,
and Epic Rock. That's the one we did.
Yeah, so they only had 2 playlist shows.
Right. The 80s Pop to the Max was better than the Epic Rock show.
Yes, and
the music got over here.
My thought is the singers might be more pop oriented as opposed to a rock oriented.
Like, for example, the girl that did Whitney Houston in the 80s Pop to the Max.
Phenomenal.
She did
really well.
Hit everything.
Yes.
But then turned around and did an Epic Rock. She did Paradise City by Guns N' Roses. And it just sounded like...
It sounded off. It didn't
torturing a cat.
All right, I was trying to be nice.
It was bad. But that's everybody's got.
This is our opinion. This is our opinion. Please do not take anything we say as we are trying to bash this person.
No, because I couldn't
know who we are,
and I know I don't sing, and I can't carry a tune in a bucket or anything else. I guess you could say disappointment. Disappointment is not the right word. It's a typical Carnival show, playlist production show.
Yeah, a lot of the songs you're thinking they played.
Right. And it's a lot of the songs from the 80s Pop to the Max are then turned around and played at the 80s Rock and Glow Party an hour later. It kind of gets monotonous after a while.
Yeah.
And other people that I know say the same thing about the Carnival shows. But then I watch their videos and they go on MSC or Celebrity or Norwegian or something like that. And they have different shows, variety shows where they've got acrobatics and jugglers and things like that. And obviously on the Paradise, you're not going to have that. It's a small ship.
Yeah.
You're looking at like 2,000 crew, or not even two crew. You're looking at like 2,000 guests on there. So you're not going to have everything, because the shows that they have on the Paradise are not the same ones they have on the Mardi Gras and the Jubilee and the Celebration. They've got more room. They've got more ability to do different things. So that's kind of you get what you get sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Not that either of the shows was really bad.
No, none of them were.
Overall impressions. Anything that you want to say overall about the cruise?
No, overall it was very fun. It was very relaxing. I was able to get a book that I'd wanted to read for a while, and I didn't make the time to read it / find the time. And I'm like, I'll just bring it. But no, definitely, if you need a getaway, perfect. Like, that's it. I'm done with everything. I need a week off and I need something to do. Perfect.
Opinions on my thought on the Paradise as a whole. It is a smaller ship. It is a fantasy class ship. You're looking at about 2,000 guests, 900-ish or so staff members. There's not a lot of space to get lost. It's extremely easy to get familiarized with the ship, so you know where everything is real quick, real easy to get along with. I think it's a perfect starter cruise.
Oh, yes, 100%.
If you've never gone on a cruise before, go on the Paradise. I think the 5 days, 5 day especially. The Paradise, great first cruise. Mm-hmm. Great cruise for couples that are 40 and above.
Yeah.
That just want to get away and just unplug for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Because it's not a party ship at all. You're going to have the bits and pieces of partiers here and there, but it's not a booze cruise at all. It's a perfect getaway cruise. It's a perfect for families with kids that are like 12 years old and younger.
Yeah.
Because on the sea days, they can occupy themselves for hours and wear themselves out in the water park area and with the water slides and stuff like that. For your older teens, 14, 15, 16, it's not as... They don't have all the bells and whistles that they would want. I don't feel. But like I said, it's an older ship. It's got everything that you could want. They recently, October of 2023, went to a dry dock, updated a lot of things. I personally would prefer the Paradise over the Mardi Gras. Controversial, possibly, but it's all going to depend on what you want to get out of a cruise. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with the Mardi Gras at all. Because Mardi Gras is perfect for other things.
Yes.
For other families, it's going to offer a lot more things to do on, like, especially on sea days. There are so many different things you can do. If you're looking to relax, the Mardi Gras is going to be harder to relax on than the Paradise. Just because there's so many different bells and whistles all the time on the Mardi Gras versus the Paradise.
Yep.
It never felt crowded.
No.
Granted, we were going the third week of January. That might have something to do with it. But nothing ever felt crowded. Buffets, Lido deck, the best thing to do when you're going on any cruise, get on a Facebook group. Get to know the people that you're going on the cruise with and get active in there.
Oh, yeah.
Just say, hey, I can't wait to meet everybody, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to comment on every single thing, but just get involved in the Facebook group. Sign up for meet and greets or slot pulls or anything like that, because you'll get to know the people on there. You'll be able to sit down and maybe have a conversation with them. Or you'll say, hey, I know you. I remember your profile picture. Join their Facebook group. Get involved in that. But just search the cruise ship and the dates. Something will pop up. And if no group pops up,
make it yourself.
Start one yourself. I would book this exact same cruise. I did this. This is the second time on this exact itinerary. Same ship. Everything the same. One was January. One was October. I would do it again.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't do it again. You did it twice already.
Yeah, I've already done it twice. And I would do it again at any given time. Yeah. Because it's a great opportunity to just unplug, relax, get away from everyday life for a little bit. Yep. It's perfect for that. Overall, we hope you enjoyed everything about our cruise. This is a summary. This is just what our opinions were of the cruise, of different aspects of it. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up. If you liked what if you were on the cruise with us and we missed something, or you're like, no, I didn't like this, I didn't like that, put a comment down below. Let's talk about this. Let's get the word out there of the good things and the bad things, and things we would change, things we wouldn't change. Let's just talk about it and get it over there. And then if you like this review, you like cruising, you're not sure where you want to go, follow this page, subscribe to our channel, because in 2 weeks from now, the first week of March, I'll be going on the Sky Princess with Rob from Here Today, Where Tomorrow, and Patrick from P&B's Wild World of Porch. We're doing a mini vlogger guys princess cruise. 3 men in a boat, whatever you want to call it.
Try and find a better way to phrase it. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds
very odd.
Well, have you seen us?
I'm not even going to answer that question.
We're all kind of odd.
I refuse to answer that question.
So, like and subscribe to our channel. Like and subscribe to their channels as well, because we're all cruise vlog. We all do different types of things.
And that's what's going to be really cool. And I'll be interested in watching
all three of
them, because it'll be like the same day, somewhat different perspectives, but they all like to cover different types of things.
Right. We're all going to have different perspectives of the same thing.
So that's what's really cool, and that's why you should subscribe to the three of them.
But nonetheless, like, subscribe, follow. If you enjoy cruising, if you also enjoy the little things running around here and Orlando area, creating little memories here and there.
Yeah.
If you don't know, I'm Facebook Jason. Get to know me, get to go on a cruise with me, and we will talk to you guys soon. That's Darrian, Facebook Jason. We're out.
What's up, everybody? This ain't Jason here. This is Jocelyn Barber. Just telling you, Jason's awesome. Facebook Jason, follow him. All right.